My name is Jeffrey. I play Meriadoc Stark, who is a dwarf cleric.
I'm Brendan. I'm playing Regolith Hipparchus, a half-moon elf sorcerer.
I'm Dorothy. I'm playing Elodie, who is a half-elf bard.
My name is Corey. I am playing Jiggy Cratermaker, the gnomish engineer.
My name is Daniel, and I run the character Isabella de Montagina. I am a halfling rogue.
My name's Amber Rose, and I play Gladiolus, the human fighter.
I am Trevor. I am the GM for this 13th Age campaign.
So, when last we met, you guys had murdered Vlad because he was summoning demons. You also accidentally killed his bodyguard because he was trying to stop you from murdering Vlad, and clearly was therefore evil.
Yeah, I'm really bad with that. I punch people with my robot arm instead of my fleshy arm, and it turns out not to work as well when I want to knock them out.
Yeah.
That was an accident.
Yeah, like, I tried to, strangle this guy once, and it just snapped like a twig.
Yep. You noticed, as you then proceeded to rifle through Vlad's stuff, that Merrick Albanal, the halfling mage who had accompanied you, had disappeared somewhere.
It's a little freaking
And that
jerk.
there was a mob amassing in a nearby carriage. And Merrick was leading said mob and pointed you guys out as being responsible for all the demonic troubles on the train. A couple of you tried to flee out the back of the carriage and over on top, and a couple of chumps with crossbows took some pot shots at you. Jiggy Cratermaker managed to get into the back carriage and lock his two compatriots in with the angry mob. He managed to avoid being arrested. The rest of the party, not so much. You did find out that under Vlad's bed there was a large trunk which contained a mace made out of a demon tongue. Unfortunately, the angry mob discovered you guys carrying it in the hallway and thus just assumed it was yours.
Way to freaking go, Izzy.
The angry mob locked you all in Vlad's room along with Vlad's dead body for lack of anywhere else to put you on the train. They put you under some guard. During the evening, you found Vlad's journal and some writings he had copied out from other books regarding something called the Well of the Nightmare, some sort of demonic artifact of some kind, as well as some mathematics he was writing out to calculate something to do with losses on the Dwarven front. You did not find whatever spellbook he'd been using. You did, however, later find, though, some wraiths rising to the floor of said cabin, which tried to kill you. Meanwhile, Jiggy had spiked Merrick Albermall's food with LSD, and himself as well. After delivering said meal and going to peacefully lie down in a corner somewhere until the pink elephants go away, you did manage to work out, however, that Merrick Albermall is framing you, although you're not sure why, and he apparently sent some wraiths to kill you in the middle of the night. You managed to fight them off, though. The guy outside the door guarding seemed to be staggeringly unconvinced of any wraith presence in the room. That said, you guys had vanquished that particular problem and are now continuing on toward Anvil, currently in chains. Sadly. Right. So, with that in mind, the train eventually arrives in Anvil. A group of frightened-looking nobles and bodyguards holding pointy sticks and swords, quote-unquote, escorts you off of the train. They're a little worried about the fact that your bonds appear to have gotten a lot looser at the time you were locked up. Not sure how that happened. They tighten them and sort of force march you along, poking you in the butt as they go, in a very unnecessary fashion, you feel.
Getting glares at them.
Your first stop is actually to the closest local temple. Temple of Valkon, I think it is. Dwarven deity of Fallen. Where you are put under the watchful eye of a group of priests who, unsurprisingly, quickly work out that you are in fact not demons. But that doesn't get you off the hook. Because even if you're not demons, that just means you summon the demons. Clearly. Ironclad logic there. So, you are currently being held in essentially the church's equivalent of a prison. It's not really your classic dungeon style thing. They look more like what they normally hold is not people. It looks like normally they hold creatures that are, evil monsters. Things like demons and horrible abominations and whatnot. There's magical sigils, much in abundance, on the walls around you. Amenities, not so much. They leave you a bucket.
To share.
Yes, to share.
Gaddy and Izzy
They
request
are not
separate.
completely heartless. They do at least put the men and women in separate rooms.
Actually, was Elodie arrested?
Yes,
Okay.
So yeah, so Elodie and Gaddy
she
and
got
Izzy
on the
are
train with Perry,
Okay.
Merrick's arch nemesis. You bet she got arrested. But, Doc, several members of your order do show up looking to speak with you. They inform you that the fact that you've been arrested they consider a travesty, and they are going to try do everything they can to try and work to get you out of this situation as best they can. However, they're not entirely convinced the people you're traveling with aren't evil demonic summoners. I'm assuming you vouch for your friends.
I vouch for all of them except the one I believe is a transforming demon dog.
Alright. Do you tell them he has an item that lets him transform into a dog?
Yes.
Alright?
Alright, yes, I vouch for all of them. I vouch for all of them.
Because the priest can certainly examine Brendan and work out that turning into a dog is not a demonic magic item. It's just a magic item that turns you into a dog for a while.
Okay.
Weird, but not necessarily evil. Now, fortunately, the priests tell you that they've hired you an attorney. They hired what they consider the most wholesome, trustworthy attorney they could find. He's this wood elf gentleman who's just come into town recently. His name is Saul Goodelf. But the main reason they've recommended him is because his secretary/assistant is actually an Aasimar, which is a sort of part angel creature. Some human with angelic ancestry somewhere in their background. So clearly, if she's working for this guy, he must be aces.
Yes.
Anyway. Now, meanwhile, Gaddy, right?
Gaddy, yes. Gladiolus. But
Gladiolus.
yes, although
You
her
are-
father may have given them the information.
You are sharing a
about
cell
it.
with Izzy. There's a couple of times in which members of the priesthood have come around to try and ask a couple of questions about what happened, but every single time they do, Izzy's only response is, I had said nothing. Izzy appears to have some practice with this. Are you going to follow Izzy's lead there?
Gaddy's responses will be more along the lines of they'll be like, what happened, but less, to do with motivations or any specific persons. Just be like, there was a demon. It was this kind of demon. It was about yay big. Oh,
Yay, big of a week.
but yeah, no, she won't say anything to. Well, she wouldn't really have anything to incriminate the others with. She'd just be like, yeah, Vlad was summoning demons. We stopped him from summoning demons.
I don't get what's so hard about this.
Pretty much exactly.
Kind of
They
surprised
stopped him terminally, but they stopped him.
I'm kind of surprised none of you decided to scapegoat Perry since he's already dead.
Well, he was
Well, they
dead
kind of
before.
couldn't. He was already dead, and they got caught in Vlad's room, having murdered Vlad after Perry was already gone. I mean, you could blame Perry having mind controlled them, I guess, and claim he ran off somewhere. But
It was like, I did a public service. We stopped him from killing everybody on the train and possibly rigging your upcoming elections.
is this about rigging elections?
Well, he was using a succubus.
Nah. See, this is the problem. You keep saying there was this succubus, but there's not been any evidence on the train of such a thing. Do you have any actual proof? I mean,
If you can somehow do some kind of magical talk scan on any of my friends here, they all got fucking whopped by her.
well, unfortunately, everything on that train has been completely contaminated with demonic energy. I mean, it's impossible to tell what anything was in there.
Just gonna have to take our word for it then.
The guy you're talking to actually looks like he might be fairly sympathetic to you. He seems to recognize you and your family, so he thinks you're telling the truth, but he's trying really hard to try and get you to come up with something he can work with.
Gaddy is unfortunately not.
I believe you. I do. I know your family. I knew your father personally. I mean, killing demons is like 80-90% of what he does.
This is true, yeah. It's
And
like,
considering about a third of your time is supposed to be spent sleeping, that's impressive. You have this mental image of your father teaching you a technique for fighting while sleepwalking. He called it
Probably
sleep
accurate.
slaying.
probably
It's an
accurate.
acquired talent.
Sorry.
He kept hearing people say that if he was so good at fighting demons, he could do it in his sleep. He decided he needed to make that true. Otherwise, people would call him a liar.
They succeeded.
Against
Dad,
all known laws of biology.
Dad is an odd folk, that's for sure. She will probably mention this, the little creepy magician ass cracker, who was able to deduce that a demon was summoned. About the same time we saw a body being thrown off the train, we figured out that the person who had been replaced with this demon was one of his bodyguards. And we were able to determine with his help that Vlad had been the one summoning it. We walked in on him carving things into his hand, holding a book, which then conveniently disappeared when the little creep ran off.
Well, see, there's the problem. You say he was helping you right up until you got to Vlad's room, and then he suddenly turned on you?
No, he
Doesn't
waited.
really make sense.
He waited till everything was going on, and then, like a creep, he stole the magic book.
Now, did you actually see him steal something?
No, but it was there, then he was gone, and it was gone, and everyone else was still there. So...
How do you know it was him, then?
There was no one else there. And he's a
There were
little
other
creep.
people with you, though.
He was a little creep who then presumably summoned wraiths on us. You know how hard it is to fight wraiths when you're chained up.
Yeah, question about that.
What, fighting wraiths? I can give you some
Yeah.
tips if you need.
You said you were fighting wraiths and that you were tied up.
Well,
Not entirely buying you could do that while tied up.
well, we weren't tied up at the time.
You were supposed to have been.
Well, yes, but then wraiths came in. And your guards were surprisingly unhelpful.
Well, okay, let's get something out of the way right now. They're not my
Their
guards.
guards. The
They're-
guards.
They're not even guards.
Were the useless bums standing outside the door were surprisingly unhelpful. We then needed to rectify the situation ourselves. Thankfully, they're also very, very bad at tying people up.
Well, that doesn't surprise me, frankly. You know, like, I want to help, I do. Like, is there anyone I could contact that might be able to help you out or vouch for you or vouch for your story?
Well, the Emperor's nephew was on the train, so he was there for a lot of it.
Yeah.
Don't know how much help he's gonna be. Don't know.
Not sure any of the nobles on board are going to be much help. I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of them are claiming they don't remember much of anything.
Now that is interesting.
Yeah. Now, honestly, if you want my opinion on the matter, I think they don't want to admit to what they did.
You mean accidentally slaughter each other,
From
or
what,
slaughter
yeah,
each
from
other
what
in
you're
a
telling
panic?
me, there were a bunch of them that were killing each other in panic. I'm thinking they don't want to deal with the backlash of that.
Yeah.
They're
No.
claiming they don't remember anything or that they were possessed or whatever. None of the
Stupid
none of the
pansy-ass
ma-
nobles.
none of the mages have found any sign of mental control on them or anything, though. So
Yeah, no, stupid pansy-ass nobles.
pretty much. From talking to some of their bodyguards, though, the ones whose bosses are already dead, you know, they don't have a reason to lie anymore. They're pretty much backing what you say, though.
Thank you. Well, see, the sensible people on the train know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I hear you, but unfortunately, the unsensible people are the guys who run the trial.
As for someone who could vouch for me, I guess any number of the people who are who have my father's legal team, which he has amassed over his many years of accidental property damage and lawsuits. And
I like to think that your father's legal team is actually all the demons he beat into submission are now his lawyers. They're a terrifying crack team.
probably wouldn't help my case too much in this situation.
No. Your dad's just sounding more and more like he is the Crusader at this point. Maybe he just never told you.
So it works for the story. Oh, none of my brothers are particularly useful in this kind of situation. A couple of their wives are, but they're all back home and it would take a while to get out here.
Well, we can send for people and messengers and whatnot to get letters of recommendation back. It's nothing.
Yes, so that would be helpful.
Character witnesses are handy, but do you know of anyone in particular who might be able to vouch for the story on the train? I mean, you said there was
On
a
the
succubus,
train.
right?
Yeah, there was a succubus.
Do you know her name?
Oh,
Because we might be able to get the mages to summon her and bind her into telling us.
her name? No, I don't know her true name. Just the name that she was going by on the train.
You can roll me a wisdom check.
Wisdom check. Which one of you die have not failed me? Well, the other ones in
None
the
of
set
them.
were doing well for me before, so let's see. So that would be a 12.
12? Alright. Izzy, sitting off in the corner, has moved over to the bed. Looked like she was about to go to sleep. Paused. Then instead of getting to bed to sleep, she just sat down on it. Shifted kind of oddly.
Getty turns.
She's giving you kind of a look. Like, looks like the guard and goes, like she wants to make him leave.
Yeah, it's like, if you'd be so kind as to ask your escort to leave, I believe I may be able to get some information for you.
Alright. Quick question, what do you mean by escort? It's just him.
The nice gentleman over there in the armor.
Oh, you mean him. Hi, sorry, I forget he's there sometimes. The guy in the armor's like, yeah, I know. Especially on Christmas time.
Aww.
Never a bonus for Jim. Looks like the guy you're talking to didn't even hear him. Just tuning him out completely.
Aww.
He walks off, looks kind of sad.
The Charlie Brown
With his
Christmas
howling.
special music plays.
His one unique thing, easily ignorable.
That's not his unique thing. He walks off with his halberd, kind of dejected. And, Izzy, however, is still looking at the guy you're talking to and going, "Get me to leave." He's less subtle now.
Getty's just like just like smacks her heads against the bar. It's like you two, just go wait around the corner. I'll call for you in a second. Please,
why?
please just do it.
Okay. He walks off around the corner.
She turns to Izzy. Care to share?
Izzy moves the pillow next to the bed and lifts it up, and there's a book under the pillow. She says, I moved the pillow and this was under here. On the front of it is something written in Abyssal.
Shit, I can't read Abyssal.
Would you like to open the book?
She remembers like a class with her dad, like, never open mysterious demonic objects.
Izzy opens the book and starts leafing
Yeah.
through it.
That was coming. Does it say anything? Is it written in Vladimir Krakammer's hand?
No, but it's in English.
Ooh, exciting. And what does it say? Does it say anything?
I think it's a spell book.
A spellbook. Delightful. This is not useful to Gaddy.
Only fucking things like tilting it sideways. Squinting her eyes at it.
Okay.
Do they call it English in this game, or is it like common, or?
It doesn't have a name for it.
Universal language. Okay. Well, just gonna take a brief flip through to see if there's anything in there about summoning succubi.
Alright, you flip through this book. It is a book of demonic back magic. Most of it does seem to concern rituals for summoning demons of various types. None of them are super specific about succubi, but you do find there are a couple of notes scribbled in various margins. One of them, for example, there's a spell for summoning some sort of greater demon, which has basically just been scribbled out. One of the rituals, though, does have a ritual for summoning minor demonic entities, and written next to it is something that looks like a name, which is Lasalka.
Alright.
If you would
And
like
do the
spelling
scribbles?
for that, I can tell you.
Yes, I would.
L-A-S-A-L-K-A.
L-A. S-A-L. Okay, so I just...
Lasalka.
Yeah, I was almost right. Okay.
Sounds like a demonic name.
Yes, it does. Now, those scribbled in margins, does that look like Vladimir Krakammer's
Yes.
writing? Ah, okay. That's exciting. Alright, she's gonna close the book, put the pillow back on it, go back up to the bars.
Slight problem, though, occurs to you. Why do you have this?
Yeah, that was the thing. So, did you see, like, yo, I don't remember his name.
You didn't get it.
It's like, you there with the thing.
Is?
Yeah, okay.
It's Hans Whisperbolt.
Hans Whisper. Okay, I'm not gonna
Whisperbolt.
remember that, so I'm gonna call you Guy in the Rope. Is he wearing a robe? Is he
Yes.
okay. Yeah. You're Guy in the Rope. Okay. Now, how bad would it look if a strange demonic object apparently appeared in the cell?
Considering that this is a church, very.
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought. Well, anyway, I have reason to believe that her name may or may not, but possibly is, Lasalka. And the succubi. Or
Okay.
also that the little shit.
You very suspiciously now.
Also, the little shit is possibly capable of getting past your wards.
No.
I just said possibly. Or he's got someone working for him in here. Possibly one of the guards. Or the assholes who changes the bucket. They should do that more frequently.
But Jimmy the Piss Boy has been a noble worker for his entire life.
Yeah, go see if he's recently acquired
15.
more. Recently come into more money than a.
He has 3
15-year-old.
teeth. And 1 eye. And a lip.
Never judge people by
the accent.
Never
No.
judge people by their appearance.
Not since his tongue was cut out.
Aw.
Oh, poor guy.
He was a survivor from an orc lord raid on the town.
Oh.
Don't worry, sports. As soon as I get my pension, as soon as I get, I'm going up in the world.
Yeah, again, no, can't be sure it's the Salka. There's a chance. Also, can somebody just throw the little shit in the cell too, so someone can be keeping an eye on him? He's been
Okay.
accused too.
Quick question. Who's the little shit you keep talking about?
The
You
wizard.
haven't actually given him a name yet.
His name was Malik, right?
Merrick.
Merrick. The wizard. We keep telling
Don't
people
think we can just throw him in a cell.
he's been accused of also summoning demons.
Yeah, but he's also the founder of the Glitterhagen University. He's a minor noble. You can't just throw him in
We
jail
know.
on random words
But
of
no,
somebody.
no, it's not in jail. Under protective custody.
Well, he's sort of already under that.
Our protection. We want him held up for our protection. He has tried to kill us. At least I suspect he's tried to kill us.
I've got people watching him, but there's not a lot I can do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
People
an
watching
age.
him seem to think he's a little out of his mind at the moment.
Especially since the poisoning incident on the train.
Poisoning.
Yeah, apparently someone tried to poison him on the train. But you're not sure. He's accusing you guys, of course. But
Yeah, because we
I don't
would have
see
been
how
able
that's
to
possible.
do that while we were held up.
yeah, I mean, I don't see how that's possible.
Which means
Well, that
someone
could
might be
explain
trying to
something about
cover
those
up their
wraiths.
cover-up.
I can explain something about those wraiths.
It might. Yes.
Gaddy really has very little else to contribute to this investigation at this point. She's being quite earnest and helpful, and
Meanwhile,
she's also
Jiggy, you have actually been contacted by one Saul Goodelf, who would like you to come down with him to the temple as a character witness for an upcoming trial of some associates of yours.
I barely know them.
Well, when you show up at his office, you do see that there is indeed an Asimar woman who is sitting at the front desk. She has heavy bags under her eyes and is scribbling away at some paperwork. She is currently smoking furiously. When she notices you, she looks up and has bright smiles. Oh, please, come in, come in. She still has massive bags under the eyes, though. Like she hasn't slept in a
crap
month.
legal team there.
I'll just,
She's not Agnes.
I look at those bags under her eyes and stuff, and I get a piece of paper and write down the coffee recipe. Here you go. This should help.
Oh, thank you. You know, I get a lot of long nights, you know. Please, Saul's office is this way. She shows you his office. Jiggy Crater Maker is here, sir. He goes, fantastic. Please, come in. Come in. Can I get you a drink? I got vodka, scotch, whiskey, scotch. I got some gin. Did I mention the scotch? It's good scotch. I'll get you a scotch.
Yep.
He's already pouring you one. The lady has left.
All right. Okay then.
He comes over with 2 scotches. Do you take one?
I'll take the scotch, but I'm not going to drink it as yet. I'm going to sniff it.
Sure.
Smell.
He drinks his.
You realize they can put poison in the glass as well as in the liquid, so just...
He held out to you. He let him take them.
Exotic chef.
Sure.
What's your smell?
It does not seem like that he is supposed to do.
11, 16 plus 5 is 21.
21. And this smells like incredibly good scotch.
Okay.
It doesn't smell tainted at all. However, looking at some of the bottles on his shelf, one of them in particular, which is labeled as being a bottle of whiskey, it's a bit discolored. Like it might not actually contain whiskey. But apart from that, come, let's head down to the temple here and get this mess sorted out right quick, eh? Throw it on a coat.
Do you think we can discuss things here first?
Oh, what about?
Well, I don't really know. I mean, you're summoned me here.
We need you as a witness to events and as a character witness for a trial coming up about the murders on that train you work for.
Oh, right. I was trying to forget that. All right.
Perfectly natural. Claudia, get my walking hat. She comes in holding two hats. She goes, the casual walking hat or the formal walking hat? The formal walking hat. She hands him a bowler hat. He puts it on. Starts heading out the door. Claudia's following him.
On one of the lower shelves, there's a thing that says traveling provisions, which with an apple juice that looks surprisingly like scotch, a thing labeled grape juice, which looks surprisingly like wine,
and something that says granola bar, which looks a lot like a brick of hash. They've wandered out the door. They have basically left you in his office. You can follow him, or you can snoop around.
They probably have some time before they notice I haven't followed.
Probably not a lot of time.
Yeah. Something quick. All right, let's glance, look at what any papers are on the desk.
There aren't any papers on his desk. His desk has drawers, and he has a filing cabinet behind his desk, though. There's one of those little executive toy things on his desk with balls, though. There's also on the floor behind the desk, you can find a half-empty bottle of scotch.
I think this guy might have a drinking problem.
No.
I think he has
I think he has a drinking solution.
Alright, I'm going to try to look for any hidden latches. Like,
sure. Give me a wisdom or perception kind of check.
Engineering?
Sure. That would work, as would any thievy kind of background.
25.
25? Alright, yeah, you find a catch on one of the bottom drawers. When you pull out the door, you find there's actually a section of it underneath that will drop down and slide out. Inside, you find just a couple of sheets of paper. They look like diagrams of a building.
Able to recognize what kind of building?
What kind of building? Give me another engineering check.
17 on the die.
It looks like a manor house of some kind. It's not very large, but you do notice one section of it is marked lab.
Okay. Well, I don't have time to...
And one thing you do notice pretty easily is there are several marks on it, which seem to show ways you could get into said house.
Alright. Try to commit this to memory as best I can and just leave it here. It would be suspicious if they find it missing. I'll just put it back where it was and just run after them.
Alright. You catch up to them and you go, ah, there you are, there. Come on, let's go. Totally not shady at all. I don't know what you're talking about. So you follow them down to the temple. They make their way in. The priest at the counter goes, Oh, you must be Mr. Goodelf. He says, indeed I am, good sir. Could you show me to my client? Oh, he's right this way. They lead you into the back to actually sell the urine dock along with that.
Did the priest give me my arm back?
Yes, they did. Once they verified you were not a demon, they returned your arm. And most of you actually have your equipment except your weapons, which are still being locked inside. I assume you did not request to take Lusgun the Tongue Mace with you, so that's also in an evidence box.
Yeah. No.
It's basically in a box, just like on a priest's desk.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't like a proper prison. Right? They don't exactly have stringent standards for this sort of thing.
Daddy's usual thing, though, when she's got downtime, though, is either to eat or to take care of her weaponry. So she has no weaponry and no snack food. So she's basically just going crazy.
You can request food.
She has requested food.
You are given a dish of food. It is heavy in meat and meat byproducts.
Kind of like...
And things that meat can be stuffed into. Good hearty dwarven food. There's also what looks like just a rock on the plate. I'm not sure what that's for.
Oh, that's
It's
to
like
help with digestion.
dwarves.
After some observation, you realize it's actually a piece of bread. Dwarven.
Slows carries on a maneuver. Grab up that bread.
Sure. Alright, Doc, you've been waiting in the cell for a little while. Regolith is currently sitting in the corner, huddled in a ball, muttering something about this is all Perry's fault somehow. Somehow he haunts from beyond the grave.
You might have been one of the whites.
One of the raids has driven him bad. A wood elf gentleman in a bowler hat and a suit approaches you. Hi there, Saul Good Elf's the name, and legal defense is my game, as it were. Hey, that rhymed. Ha! I amused myself. Hi there, you must be Doc, right?
Yes, I'm Doc Stark.
Ah, good to hear it. Now, I'm here to ensure you do not get fucked in the ass too hard by our legal system. Am I correct in assessing that you know this gentleman?
Partially.
Good enough. Alright. Now, would you be willing to swear up and down blind that you have known this man as an honest and hardworking man your entire life?
My entire life.
Yeah.
I guess technically that kind of fits.
You've never known him not to be an honest and hardworking man.
Exactly.
Come on, don't you know? You grew up with him. He was a good, hard-working, honest dwarf.
As a priest, I would not really accept any friends of mine to commit perjury.
Oh, don't be silly. Perjury, smurgery. You know what they call perjury? Tactics. That's just what they say to keep you from doing something so effective. I should point out his assistant's not in the room. She didn't come in with you. She might not be privy to this. So you're saying you haven't known him your whole life?
No.
Alright. He hands you a bag of money and says, how about now? You assess it to be about 1,000 gold.
I guess I could say I've known him most of my life.
Hands you another bag of gold.
Alright. I've known him since childhood.
Good to hear it, son. I like Saul. He's very upfront about being a shady bastard.
Oh boy.
Oh, son, don't you worry about a thing. We'll get you out of this now. You just tell me what you think happened here, and I'll tell you why it was different.
Well, we were on our way back to Anvil after we were examining the cave where Arankaraz the dragon, we slew him.
You sure you weren't visiting family in Glitterhagen? Maybe a sweet old grandma?
I don't believe I have any family in Glitterhagen.
I do.
Would you object to me making someone family in Glitterhagen?
I have family there.
Were you visiting his family in Glitterhagen? Maybe visiting Thanksgiving dinner, yeah?
I did not know him.
Part and
more
parcel
than
of
a
family
week ago.
values and all that. They eat that shit up here, I can tell you that much.
I did not know this person for more than before I went on the train.
See, now you're gonna have to get this thing out of your system, this weird honesty thing you've got going on.
You're making it
I
very
am a
hard to make my
priest.
call.
If I,
Good. You think priests don't lie?
well, not
Trust me, son, I've met some priests.
Well,
You
I
name me-
lie, but in service to people other than myself.
Well, all you gotta do is you're lying for the people, you're a person. Why can't you lie for yourself?
Roll a
Best lawyer ever.
I roll a wisdom check to see if he convinces me. Crit fail. He convinces me.
You make a persuasive argument, sir. Maybe the path of sin is the easiest.
Maybe there's nothing wrong with a little white lie if it means I prevent Tarankaraz from gaining the throne.
Exactly. Now you're getting it. Who's the ranker as?
A dragon who may have taken the body of Connor Black Anvil, right now most likely to take the throne of the dwarf
Okay. I see where you're going with the insanity defense, but I don't think we'll need to resort to that just yet. Although keep it in the back pocket just in case. It doesn't seem like it believes that at all. All right, now, so you were going to visit your good friend Jiggy Cratermaker's family. Perhaps a passing of a loved one. You got any loved ones died recently?
Yeah.
He asked heartlessly.
My sister.
Ooh, that's a good face. Keep that face.
She died on the train.
Less useful.
On the way there or the way back?
On the way back.
Could it have been on the way there? Damn. Could have had something there.
Yeah, there were probably, I believe there were a lot of witnesses.
Oh,
to
my
that
condolences and whatnot.
Sounds so genuine.
Oh yeah, totally. You're not sure if he might be worse than Vladimir or not. It's that sort of low-grade evil that just sort of tarnishes everything it comes into contact with. Kind of like TransLink. Anyway. Now, looking into this trial case we've got going on here, apparently we've drawn Judge Malcolm's. We might be able to work with that. I mean, he's been known to like the ladies now and then. Might be able to work something in there. Let's see, where does he live again? Somewhere up on Animal Cross Way.
How high is your charisma skill?
Not high enough to deal with this.
Now, we're not sure who the jurors are yet, but once we know, we'll be able to work something in there. Assuming you can pay for it, of course. Witnesses now. There's been a lot of witnesses on the train, but most of them are keeping quiet and saying that they don't remember what happened. It might be possible to convince one of them to change their story. You know anyone on the train that might be more susceptible to the odd passing of a buck or the odd swinging of a fist?
Do I know anyone like that?
Well, there is Aaron Edwards, who is totally not a pirate king.
Probably takes somebody.
He was a terrifying pirate of the high seas for quite a long time, until he amassed enough money that he could basically buy a family history from someone else. His real last name's not Edwards. There was some minor noble named Aaron Edwards. He literally just bought the guy's life. He was a noble down on his luck in a broken family. Alright, I'll take your name, and you get to make a new name, and this huge bag of money.
Any name you want.
Now, if anyone asks, he's totally the same guy. Just with an eye patch and a fondness for parrots. He'd probably be susceptible to money.
Yeah. I mentioned this to my lawyer.
Oh, good. Oh, right. I think I remember him. Wasn't he known as, like, the Red Fisher or something? Yeah, sounds good.
Red Fisher. Can I do an all-rich roll on an exotic ship?
Sure.
It was called the Red Fisher because it would often leave, because often after one of his attacks, it would leave the surrounding fishing area red with blood for weeks.
Actually, the real reason is because his preferred method of killing people was to set their boats on fire, at which point they would try to flee the sinking ship, and he would shoot into the water and then fish them out with a gaff hook to loot their bodies.
Oh.
Yeah, you know this story. Not a nice man. Anyway. Alright, now, you said that you were throwing an accusation about this Merrick guy. Any idea what he might be up to? You said he was framing you.
I believe he might be working with Vlad and summoning demons, but this is all just speculation.
I can work with that. 1 second. He heads out of the room a bit. Are you going to follow or try to listen in?
Yeah.
Sure. Roll me a wisdom perception check.
No trickery?
Sure.
13, I think.
Great. He goes out of the room and speaks to his assistant for a few moments. You can't make out what they're saying, but then she leaves and goes off somewhere and he comes back. Alright, I think I might be able to work something out with this Merrick guy. I sent Claudia out to go have a talk with him. She should be back sometime tomorrow. Alrighty now.
Have a talk with him or have a talk with him? I'm not there to ask the question, but...
Now, alright. So, this Merrick guy, you think he's framing you? Some jurors would pay off, witness would pay off, alright. So, what do you think happened?
Well, I noticed something was on as soon as I went on the train. I neglected to buy a ticket.
Did you get one later?
Yes.
All right. Anyone asked you out of the whole time?
Okay. I was disguising myself as a waiter for the first until I got to retrieve my ticket. And,
Probably skip that part.
All right. I noticed there was something odd about Vladimir's assistant, or his secretary. It was an elven woman who would eat meat.
No. I eat meat sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not good. It's not terrible.
And she seemed unnaturally close to Vlad. And I noticed...
He was pretty ugly.
Yeah. And I did notice he did seem to have the effects of someone under the influence of succubus. Like
Now,
You should probably stop using
I'm assuming that's cleric training teaching you that, not demon summoning training teaching you that, yeah?
yes, cleric training.
Okay, good. Stick to that story. He does the old, like, tapping the nose, pointing at you thing. Like, he totally thinks you're a demon summoner, but doesn't give a shit. Alright, now, what happened after that?
Well, I left it alone for a while. Obviously I couldn't be sure. And then my friend Izzy came running in and told me, yeah, she is totally a succubus. I decided to take her word on that.
Did she say how she knew that?
Apparently she was listening in on a conversation Vlad and she were having in their cabin.
She happened to overhear the conversation they were having.
Any chance they were having this conversation quietly in a car somewhere?
Like a panoramic car?
Maybe. I mean, was this at night?
Yes.
Car probably fairly empty then. You could conceivably have a quiet talk with someone. Probably want to go with that one unless you can think of something better. You don't want to go creating the impression you were spying on people. Nobles get tetchy about that.
Can't imagine why.
Yeah, me neither. It's weird. I mean, I assume I'm being spied on at all times.
Hey, who's that person behind you there?
Oh, he works for me. Don't even worry about it.
Okay.
I'm the one that's behind him. I'm holding the 2 bags of money. Is that...
There's actually another guy crouched in the rafters, like a pen and a notebook. He just goes, hey. He just waves. That's my counter spy.
Okay.
Alright,
So,
what happened next?
Perry, that's our wizard friend who nobody likes.
Aw.
Probably not. Maybe don't suggest he was your friend.
Yeah, well, an acquaintance.
Maybe don't suggest he was an acquaintance. Maybe go with begrudging non-enemy.
Yeah, that actually describes him pretty accurately. And he decided to go off on his own to investigate. And then I hear a strange noise, and we had to fight a gigantic Brock.
Rock, eh? Alright. What happened then?
Well, after we killed it, the rest of the train figured out we were on board, and so, but thankfully it killed a number of, well, I don't know whether I should say. It unfortunately killed a number of nobles who were able to commandeer their tickets.
Those weren't no.
Hey, I'm pretty sure those were your tickets.
Yeah.
Don't worry, they don't have names. It's fine.
We tried to explain our best to the...
Now, this Perry guy you mentioned, he died at some point during the trip, right?
yes, unfortunately.
Are you willing to say he was working with that Vlad guy? And that he was like a spy in your little group?
That would explain a lot, actually.
Alright, we'll go with the spy angle for now. I don't worry, I can cook up some documents or letters or whatever. I'll get Claudia on it. I'll tell her it's a craft project. I'll tell her it's for a mock case I'm working on for the legal academy. She's very trusting. It's great.
Yeah.
She really gives the firm that wholesome image, you know?
You know, I've never thought of it before, but it seems like almost every time we tried to do something, Perry was always there to somehow mess it up. Like, I was trying to be stealthy I was trying to be unnoticed on the train, and Perry would always be making weird things happen.
Clearly trying to draw attention to you.
Yes.
right now.
Now, what was Perry's full name?
Perchance.
Perchance, oh man. Meet that guy? Didn't he blow up the entire stables of the university once?
I haven't heard about that, but it's entirely likely.
I was contracted on repairing that.
At first I thought it had been a steam boiler. But no, it turns out he'd just been trying to do a basic spark cantrip and it just went a bit overboard on it.
There was a ash shadow, like a silhouette of a person on the wall.
Yeah, sounds like demonic hell magic to me. Yeah. The more I hear this, the better it sounds. Especially, Merrick, he owns that school, doesn't he? He founded it. And considering, that Perry guy, he went through a lot of catastrophes in that school without being thrown out. Sounds to me like this was his way of paying that off. Maybe Merrick pulling some strings, getting himself a minion. Yeah, that could work. Just throw this Perry guy under a bus. It'll work out great. Perry is helpful. For the first time in his non-life.
Well, let's just hope his family doesn't hear about this.
He might be proud that he accomplished something.
Yeah, but they might.
Well, he was evil, but
Back in Glitterhagen, there was this whole demon summoning kerfuffle there, and the police suspected him as well then too.
Really? Perfect. I'm sure I can dig out those old records. Maybe buy off a couple of the officers, say they saw more than they did. Clearly, he's the best lawyer ever.
Oh, wonderfully awful, but
I'm gonna send some messengers out to Glitterhagen, see if I can get a hold of those records, and I'll come back and talk to you tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah.
Do we have a trial date set?
Not yet, no.
All right.
Don't worry, it probably won't go to trial. Most of these things don't.
Murder? Demon summoning?
Murder? Nah, usually they settle out of court or mob justice. I think you managed to evade the mob justice one. Besides, I could probably sell them on this Perry deal. He leaves. Perry, sorry, not Perry. Jiggy, what are you doing? He's left you alone in the cell.
He stares at his 2 bags of money, looks at Doc. So, maybe we should take some time to reminisce.
Yeah, I guess we both talk about our life story to each other.
Start getting your story straight.
oh, dear lords.
Meanwhile, Gaddy, Hans Whisperbolt has returned. He will tell you that there's a woman asking for you, Helena Ironhaunt.
Is this a name I recognize?
You don't.
Do any of the other people in my cell?
Izzy kind of goes a little white in the face.
And Elodie's there too, right?
Yeah. Elodie also looks nervous.
I asked whether she's coming to see me or whether I've been taken out to see her.
She said she wanted to talk to you three privately. Actually, she only mentioned those two, but I mean, they're not talking. So.
Kind of looks at them, sees their general reaction. Is it more just they're standing there? It's like, guys, just like, should we be armed for this confrontation for this meeting?
Is the Elodie whisper, baby? I don't know if it would help.
she turns to Whisperbolt. Can we be armed for this meeting?
Not really.
I'll take a pen.
I guess you can have a pen.
Thank you. Better than nothing.
Not gonna help. Helena Ironhaunt.
I don't know who this is. Is this a name I've forgotten from the recording?
No. It's a lady you haven't met.
Her. Okay.
Okay. Alright, so Gaddy's just like, yeah, whatever, send her in.
Right. Hans leaves, and a dwarven woman comes in. She has a quite severe scar going across most of one side of her face that looks like an acid burn, and one of her arms is actually missing.
Does this have anything to do with our part?
No.
Okay.
She says to Elodie and Izzy, hello again. They go, hi. Listen, I heard you were looking for someone to interrogate a demon.
Yeah, that's not untrue.
and I could probably do that for you.
Well, that's all fine and dandy, except if you do so, is the court going to care that you've interrogated this demon? Because if they don't, then you're useless to me.
I wasn't planning on doing it to their knowledge.
Oh, you're just gonna interrogate him for
Yeah,
fun.
find out what she knows, that sort of thing.
Gaddy sort of moves back in the cell closer to Elodie and Izzy, and
You can roll me a wisdom perception check. I might let you add Born for this, actually.
Yeah?
You might have heard of these people.
okay, is it wisdom or wisdom?
Wisdom, yeah.
Okay, so in that case, at 14.
14? Alright. She does something with her hand, moves it quickly.
Yeah.
Apart from that, it might have been
Didn't see.
spell casting, but you're not sure what.
Yeah. So Gaddy kind of like looks at Izzy and Melanie, sort of like, what is this woman's deal?
They look over at her, still in the same room. Probably shouldn't say.
Do we want her to summon the demon?
I am 100% confident she could do so with perfect skill.
That doesn't answer the question.
Up to you. I mean, I guarantee you she's serious about not telling anyone about it.
Thank you, Miss Ironhaunt.
Don't piss her off.
Thank you, Miss Ironhaunt. We appreciate
You do know who the Ironhaunts are. They're one of the 4 ruling families of dwarves in both Anvil and Forge. Along with the Black Anvil clan, the Stark family, which he belongs to, and the Crackhammer family.
So are
who
they?
You murdered a member of.
Yes. So are they also in line for the throne?
Yes, but you can roll me an intelligence check.
Not with that die.
That's worse.
Jesus Christmas.
Yeah, you seem to just drop it. You need to sort of roll it to make it more
Can you
random.
just like throw it across the table, preferably at the GM?
So 11. Although if it's if it's for determining it's an intelligence check,
It's
not
like a
perception
history check.
Okay, then yeah. Unless born for this, unless there's something that would have come up in her many lessons, then only 11.
Might.
Okay, then 15.
15? Alright. One thing you know about the Ironhaunt family is, to all your recollection, they've never taken the Dwarven throne, or even really tried to do so.
Right. Well,
They are technically in the running. You do know that they are primarily in charge of mining operations.
well, lady, I thank you for your kind offer. However, I have no idea why you want to do this. Not entirely sure why it would help us. And to be frank, you are scaring me slightly.
Well, I
Only a little
can't do
bit.
anything about the last one. As to how I can help, interrogating this succubus lady would A, prove she exists, B, give a verifiable account of what happened, and C, we might be able to convince the city's mages to perform such a summoning and binding during the court trial
Yes, well
in order
that's
to prove your story of events.
only useful one if you tell people that you did it and what she told you. 2, only helpful if you don't then kill her permanently, because that won't help us.
I was planning on killing her permanently.
Okay, I don't know why you're on our side here, or if you're on our side.
Probably.
See, that makes me uncomfortable.
I'm no friend of the Diablos.
Oh, well, in that case.
Technically true.
180.
Technically true.
Well, a lot of people aren't friends with the Diablos. That doesn't necessarily make them my friends either.
I have a special hate for her. There's like a
Well-
twitch in the eye.
Well, that's...
You don't need to roll a check to guess that there's a personal level of hate there.
Well, that's as you may
Like,
know.
this isn't just like a I dislike what she stands for. This is I dislike her personally kind of thing.
Well, that's lovely. I'm not so keen on her myself, but that's mostly because her agents have a thing against my family. But
Oh, you're one of those browns.
yeah. I don't know why I'm doing this. We have reason to believe that the demon's name is Lasalka.
She rolls her eye back like she's consulting some mental Rolodex and goes, "Oh, her."
So you're familiar with this name?
I run into her once or twice.
You're not going to ask how.
Succubus of moderate power.
Okay.
Doesn't usually play the political game though.
Well, may also have something to do with the war, but honestly, I don't know anything about that side of things. So, how did the Izzy and I assume I didn't get any massive reaction from them by telling her the name?
No.
Okay, yeah, I gathered. So they appear to be. Sorry, Daniel and Dorothy.
Yeah. It's kind of a problem that they're not here
Yeah, I
because
know.
I don't know if they would actually tell you or not.
Yeah, no, and I also don't.
And I don't want to make that decision for them.
I figured Gaddy at this point. Okay. All right. Well. So yeah, that's who we believe it to be. We have absolutely no way of knowing for sure if that's who it was. We just have reasons for thinking that. Especially if you can confirm that that's her, that could be useful. We'd really, really like it if she could be summoned and then coerced into telling the truth.
Well,
Preferably in a way that wouldn't, torture is great, but, you can't be sure they're telling you the truth and not just what
can't
you want
really
to hear.
torture demons.
Yeah, well, there's that too.
They don't really take to it.
Yeah, no. Not so much.
You can magically bind them into obeying your orders, though.
Or
and
what
if
I
you
was hoping
simply
for.
order them to truthfully tell you something, they're forced to.
Or what I was hoping for. But yes, if that could happen, preferably in front of witnesses, that'd be spiff.
Alright. She just slicks her hair back slightly and says, "Do you want me to do that here or later?"
Kind of looks around at all the runes and warding around the cell.
They won't be an issue.
See, that's so encouraging. Also, I'm kind of worried if you do it here, and then someone's like, there was a demon summoned here. They're just gonna think it was us. Can we get perhaps some of the guards,
It
the
won't be an
church
issue.
guards? Also not encouraging.
She's fun.
Daddy's just like looking at the pen like, yeah, no, this isn't. Well, it was worth a shot. Pockets it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, but I'm thinking a witness that, just someone from the church here who could be all like, yeah, they're being upfront about this.
That would be an issue.
Well, I feel like,
Why don't we
got a
just
pen.
Why don't we just call her up now, find out what she has to say, send her back, and then get one of the others to call her up during an official trial.
Yeah, but you see, here's the thing. Then she gets called up, told to tell the truth, and then she's like, oh yeah, they summoned me in their basement, in your nice warded basement. See where this might be a conflict of interest in our we didn't summon the demon defense.
I'm not sure what you're concerned about. Out of character, what are you concerned about exactly?
Oh, just every single way this could go wrong. Although Gaddy, in my defense, Gaddy is pretty much sure that she can get out of just about anything if she absolutely needs to. It might take a few tries, but she's pretty sure she can do it. Even if she gets thrown in some dwarven prison, she's pretty sure eventually she can sort that.
You don't want to be in Dwarven Poundland in this prison, it's rough.
Anyway, so she's
Dwarves actually only have Poundland in this prison.
So Gaddy's just kind of
I
like,
think I have the general idea of what you're concerned about. Summon her now, she'll have knowledge that they know her name, and she'll be able to use that information against us in the future.
actually, no, that wasn't my issue. Although, come to think, that is another good issue. Actually, no, the issue was more that if she's summoned there, and if they have proof, if the jury or whatever gets wind of the fact that we have been responsible for her being summoned while we were in lunch, that doesn't exactly scream, these guys didn't cause the havoc on the train.
That won't be an issue.
Just like, do it.
There's a list of things that are and are
Yeah,
not an
this-
issue
it's
for
like-
her, and that's not one of them.
It's like, I guess it could help. Yeah, sure.
She mutters something, waves one of her hands. There's a weird sort of, almost like a black fog that goes around the door to the cell, and then the wall just sort of phases into basically looking like just a piece of stonework. You don't hear any commotion on the other side, though, that suggests anyone noticed or is concerned about it.
Delightful, Gaddy says.
Afterward,
Takes the pen back up.
Helena looks around at all the sigils and holy words scribed over everything for a moment, goes over to one of them, what is this? Rubs out a little bit of one of them, takes a piece of chalk, makes a slight alteration to it. They all turn a kind of unpleasant color of red. Then returns to the middle of the floor.
While you're in the process of summoning her, can you maybe make sure she can't, succubus us? She does like the wiggly arms to sort of. Okay, excellent. Just, I don't want to deal with her stabbing me again. Points to Izzy.
She bites one of her fingers, scribbles something on the floor. Looks like a very small circle. You don't hear her say anything, but then she just says, La Salca, and lets a drop of blood fall on the floor while she moves her hand around. Some rather unpleasant smelling sulfurous fog starts to fill the room. And a succubus lady appears, standing in the middle of the room. She's not wearing any clothes, because of course she's not.
That doesn't really
I guess
shock me.
it's a good thing she went into the female only.
The succubus actually looks around kind of confused, sees Helen and goes, oh fuck, not you again.
Yeah, just like, oh, this doesn't make me come. I
This
need more
goes and
comfortable.
goes, yeah, me again. What now?
Just kind of like turns to her. Who are you?
The succubus glances over you guys, goes, yeah.
Hey,
Hi. How you been?
oh great, how have you been?
Oh, in hell, relaxing.
Yeah, but that was nice.
For a value of nice.
That was Perry.
Helena just says, ask away.
All right, so quick question. It's just to confirm here before we move forward here. Vladimir Krakehammer, he's 7G, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Second question. Why?
She sort of twitches slightly, like she doesn't want to answer. She goes, God damn it. He wanted to end the war with the Earth.
Yeah, I'm gonna need more specifics than that.
Helena just raises one eyebrow at her. She says, fine. There's an artifact in a long vault called the Well of the Nightmare. If you put someone through it, it casts them into hell, and then it allows a demon to go back the other way, like a one-for-one trade.
Alright, that sounds utterly pointless. Now,
As long as you're holding the hoop, you can control and command whatever demon comes through. You can do this several times. What he wanted to do was sacrifice a bunch of people to it, make an army of demons, kill the Orc Lord, then dismiss all the demons. And save Anvil and Forge. La-di-fucking-da.
okay, that sounds, well, actually kind of smart. Except for the fact that, so you say as soon as he puts down the hoop, those demons just go nuts.
I did not say that, but yes.
Right. Now, if he picks the
I may
hoop up,
have neglected to mention that part to him.
dwarves.
See,
Now,
I was just going to wait for him to summon an army of demons. Then I was just going to, charm him and tell him, hey, hand me that hoop. And then I'd have an army of demons to play with.
excellent. So when you pick the hoop back up again, you're back in control?
Yeah, whoever picks it up.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Helena just goes, that thing's still around? God damn it.
Daddy turns to her, making me really uncomfortable.
My apologies.
That's okay. It's okay. Back to the succubus. Okay, third question.
This is so fun because you don't know who she is.
Third question. Anybody else know about this? That, any other players in play here? Oh! That little asshole.
Gonna need specifics on that one.
I'm gonna need a name.
His name was
Merrick.
American.
Merrick.
Don't know him.
Great. Don't suppose you saw any wraiths being summoned and happen to have any info on that?
Well, no. This might have something to do with having been hit with a hammer repeatedly.
Yeah, I'm not really sorry about that.
I am. Hurt.
Yeah,
Very
well,
unkind.
you were trying to unleash the army of demons on the world, so...
Just a little army of demons.
Yeah,
It
but
would
you
only
see...
cause some havoc.
Yeah, but you see, when it comes to
Or a
demon
lot.
armies, even a little bit is, kind of a problem. So,
Only for a while.
you kind of
They
get...
probably only slaughter a couple 100,000 people.
Yeah, well, the point is, you kind of get whatever...
I'd get promoted.
I don't doubt that, actually. Okay. So, Vladimir Krakehammer did do that. And by the way, we're going to need you to swear to that in court. Whatever the demonic equivalent.
I abjectly refuse. Helena
Yeah,
cocks an
you're-
eyebrow at her. Somehow I don't think I'm going to have a choice, though.
Yeah, I didn't really think so.
don't suppose I could interest you in untold wealth, riches, and power.
Yeah, not so much.
Worth a shot.
Yeah, I good effort, good effort. Keep it up and...
Glenn's over Helena. I won't bother asking her.
I would ask you who she is, but I have a feeling that's a bad question to ask, so not going to.
Helena Ironhaunt.
Yeah, I know her name. I really don't want to know anything else. I'm good.
She's an Ironhaunt.
Yeah, got that. You know the name. Anyway, alright. So, kind of turns to her cellmates who apparently are still standing there quietly in the background, which is...
They're sitting somewhat farther back.
Oh, come on, yep. Pansy asses.
They seem less scared of the demon and more scared of Helena.
It's like, got anything to add?
I'm pretty sure Helena kind of likes you because you're funny.
I don't
Or at
know.
least
I
just
mean, I
encouraged
think your
to give
sense
her
of humor is
due
atrophied pretty hard.
Encouraged to give her due reverence. Okay. Okay, so we've asked her. She doesn't know who Merrick is. We know that Vladimir has summoned her. Do you know how Vladimir came to know to become acquainted with you, shall we say?
Oh, he found a book of lore, one of the forbidden sections of the Dwarven library, started fucking around with it.
That sounds safe. Okay.
Oh yeah, totally. You should do it. It's a great idea. Can't advise enough.
Yeah, no, not. Forgive me for not taking your advice.
You're not forgiven. You should take my advice. It's awesome advice.
Yeah.
Actually, she tries to say it's awesome advice, and then her tongue seems to stick in her mouth. She goes, "Oh, right, fine."
Yeah. Hezek child. So.
Hezek, oh, god damn it! Hate that guy.
Yeah, a lot of demons do.
He's terrible in bed too.
Oh, more information than I needed. Yeah, he just looks like a little
At
brain
least got
scrubbing.
enthusiasm. Go for that.
Hearts and la la la. Things you don't need to know about your mother. I will kindly request that you not add anything else to that.
Fine.
Asked about Hezek, asked about how he found out about her. Did he have any other demons in his employ?
Not that I know of.
Right. Did he have any human allies or, shall we say, co-conspirators?
I don't think so. I
Or-
never saw any.
Various other races. I say human, I mean more humanoid. As in non-demonic.
I mean, there's people on his staff, but I don't think anyone was privy to what he was doing with me. Daily and nightly and ever so brightly.
Second question. Actually, this is kind of a real random one. Some of the guards were saying that you were really cold to them. That just seems totally off book for a succubus.
Vlad asked me to leave that sort of thing be.
Yeah, didn't want to be too obvious.
I guess. Or he
Yeah.
might have been jealous.
Yeah. Dwarf.
He was kind of weird like that.
Yeah. I can't think of any more questions. So.
Helena actually asked the Sokka question. She says, "What do you know about the Axe of Seven Bloods?" Sokka goes, "Not a lot. It's in the Long Vault. It's a scary dwarven axe. Kills stuff real good. Supposed to kill whoever swings it too, though."
That makes it much less useful.
Helen actually glanced at you and goes, "To you, maybe."
Not making me any more comfortable. Okay. Axe of Seven Blood. Now, does it
Is it
count?
true that it kills anything you hit with it? Yeah, I think it obliterates their soul and then obliterates the holders too.
Oh, so that's just me.
Sort of a mutually assured destruction kind of thing.
You just use nukes like everybody else. Okay.
Do you know if it's still in the Long Vault? As far as I know, why are you asking? Never mind. Did you have any other questions?
Well, we've confirmed that we were in the right when it comes to killing Vlad, and that he wanted to summon a demon army. So that's, in our
It
favor.
does also explain what his math was. Number of people
Yeah,
sacrificed
well,
versus number of people who would die in the
I
fight.
think we already figured that out,
Yeah.
though. Oh, do we still have that book?
The
The
Hellbook?
note. Yeah, the notes with the numbers.
Vlad's notes?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah,
Unless
okay.
you gave them to the guards to lock his evidence or whatever.
I'm trying to think if there's anything we can ask of her or ask her to do that would assist us in any way, but I can't think of anything.
You know, it would probably be really useful if you just show the book to Helena.
I'm pretty much done with the succubus.
With giving the book over, you mean? With giving the book to Helena, you mean?
No, at the moment we're finished with the succubus. When the succubus is gone, I may or may not give the book to Helena. Although, judging by my companion's reaction, I don't think I'm going to.
Helena will just snap her fingers. The cloud of fog just snaps up like a little balloon and just drops down to the ground. The succubus disappears.
Well, thank
She walks over, corrects that one little road. Things go back to looking normal again.
Well, thank you. Thank you
Waves
for
her
that.
hand, the door looks normal again.
That was helpful, and we appreciate that. Now, I'm inclined to think you want something from us.
In a manner of speaking, I suppose.
Oh, that sounds bad.
You know a gentleman named Arankaraz, correct?
Yeah, I heard the name thrown around a few times.
The dragon in Connor Black Anvil's body.
Yeah, I've heard the story.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't interfere with his attempt at taking the throne.
Well, that wasn't really on my to-do list, but I can't vouch for anyone else.
The two members of the cell are like,
But don't think I can agree to that. However, that being said, we could. Yeah, actually, no, that's
unfortunate.
But yeah, again, not on my to-do list. Not necessarily off my to-do list. Not strictly speaking off my to-do list.
Alright. She will actually just leave.
Yeah. Oh, please don't kill the succubus. Please don't kill the succubus. We need that with this.
So you don't give her the book.
Oh, not a hope in hell. I may, however, give it to Whisperbolt so it gets the shit out of the cell.
Speaking of Hans Whisperbolt, he comes back over and says, "Oh, hi there. Listen, there was something else I wanted to ask you about your time on the train.
Yeah.
You said you were in Vlad's room for a while. They're still looking through his books and stuff. Was there anything you found in there that might be kind of important?
Well,
You smell sulfur?
no,
Probably nothing.
I think it's just something from down the hall. Well, yes, you have to ask one of the guys about it because the dwarf, he's got some. We found some notes of his that had statistics. Pretty sure they were regarding numbers in the army. We have reason to believe he wanted to summon a demon army. Sacrificing soldiers and folk probably who couldn't fight to summon a demon army, which he would then use to win the war. But as you can imagine, these types of things, usually a bad idea. Dealing with hell, not the best choice, but as we have demonstrated, Vladimir Krikhammer did not have the best decision-making process.
No, he did not.
Not so much. So yeah, that was. So you have to ask guys. I imagine they probably gave it to the priests since they were.
Yeah, his whole library of stuff is locked in somewhere.
Okay. Now, not on the train. He was reading from a book, which then kind of went poof. Which again, we think the little asshole took. However, it appears to have returned.
Okay.
By which I mean we didn't have it.
Okay.
But it turned up here. As in, like, here. She goes back, takes it out from under the pillow. It's in the cell and we got here.
He takes the
Again,
book.
I say, ask the little asshole.
The cover, looks at the back cover. So then he looks at like the very back page, just on the inside of the cover.
Property of Vladimir Krikhammer.
No, you can actually see what looks like a little heart diagram drawn on it, just in pen.
Oh, delightful.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, wait a second. Is that one of the...
Require a roll to identify. I can tell you
Is
that.
it one of the icons?
It is that icon.
Yeah. Oh, the
Prince
Prince
of
of
Shadows.
Shadows.
The greatest thief in all the world.
Yeah.
He could probably have gotten a book into that room.
Why would he be... Would that also imply that he... Oh, no, but I guess if he had taken it, then he stole it from the little
Was
asshole.
that one of the sixes? Or one of the fives? Or
Maybe
Yep.
Izzy's...
That would be one of Daniel's results. Actually,
Yeah.
that was Brendan's 6 with the Prince of Shadows.
Convenient.
Oh no, that was Daniel's 5 because the book comes back, but it comes back under suspicious circumstances.
Yes, right. Well, it's like Gaddy, like if Gaddy was like kind of looking over, like, I was like,
When he actually sees a little heart icon, he actually just smiles a little in the corner of his mouth.
I was like, yeah, that would explain a lot, actually. Okay, so Merrick didn't bring it here then, but still need to bet he took it from the cart. Train, car.
Possibly.
Cart. Yeah, no.
So did you ever decide yes or no on the summoning demon lady thing?
Yeah, definitely summon the demon lady. Definitely bind her to tell the truth. Definitely ask her if Vladimir Craighammer summoned her. Also, ask him about the Well of Nightmares. Because that was mentioned in the scribbles.
Okay.
Yeah, that was his whole plan with the demon army. Stupid plan, but a plan.
I'm just gonna put out a character here. You have more knowledge of that artifact than you probably should.
But that was what was in the notes, though, wasn't it?
Didn't say what it did.
Oh, shit. Right.
It said it was used by a demonic cult.
That's
about
you know,
it, though.
Gaddy is not the wisest of folk.
You're lucky this guy's your friend.
Yeah, also, Gaddy is generally more inclined to just sort of roll blindly forward. Yeah, that's probably... She doesn't really... It'd be really helpful if, Izzy was here, I suspect.
Yeah, probably.
This is not my strong point.
Meanwhile, what's Jiggy been up to? Jiggy and Duck.
Well, we've been spending all this time getting to know one another, really, really personally.
Real personal too. It's actually been a fair few hours since you've been talking with each other. Saul actually returns. He says, "All right, guys, I've got good news and I've got great news. First
So
of all,
bad news and worse news.
no, what are you talking about? It's no bad news. Well, I mean, you're being put on trial for murdering hundreds of people, but apart from that, I mean, that's not news, though. You already knew that.
Yeah.
First off, Aaron Edwards, he's in. Only cost me a couple hundred. Not bad as far as bribing witnesses go. Now, the real sweet news, though, is the judge. That Malcolm guy? Yeah. Turns out a couple of years ago, he was involved in a suspicious death, and it turns out some new evidence might be coming to light momentarily. It's going to have been recovered from his home. Turns out a severed tooth of a woman who went missing who was dating for a while. I have a good inkling it might just turn up at his house at some point. And happen to be spotted during a routine inspection.
So if the judge gets, compromised, doesn't that mean they'll just send another judge?
No. We're not going to tell people about it. We just tell him we know. And then tell him how to run the trial. What's the name for it?
Like extortion?
Yeah, that's the one. Blackmail, not extortion. Extortion is when you're looking for money. Blackmail, that's the one. See, you got a head on your shoulders.
I don't know. I always prefer the word blackmail. The X makes it sound cool.
Extortion? The X makes it sound cool. Alright. So we got that in the bag. We got a good witness going. All that's left is the jurors. And I think we'll be able to work some of them around without too much difficulty. The lawyer, this Merrick guy's hiring, got this legal team going, but I've got it on good authority that a few of them might not be able to make the trial. So he's probably going to be narrowed down to just a couple of guys. Alright, now, how do you want to go with this tactics-wise? Do you want to go soft sell, or do you just want to go in hard, full-on blazing criminality right here? Note, he has not considered what he's done up to this point criminal.
I would prefer to spend as little time in prison as possible.
Hard it is. Alright, so, we can probably fix one of the brakes. Yeah, that'll keep him delayed for a while.
I would prefer you do not tell me any of what you plan on doing.
Oh, yeah. Plausible deniability. Yeah, you got a head on your shoulders there. Alright, I'll be back later. He heads out of the room again.
Could I speak to you for a moment?
Oh, sure, son, sure.
Okay. So, I open up my backpack and I get my chef supplies and I open it up, but I'm just going to let him see it, but I'm not going to see what he takes. Is there anything in here that might be useful to you?
I don't know. What is it? I've never been much of a cook, personally.
Oh, they're labeled.
What are they, though?
Right, well,
Are they just various
some of them are
narcotics?
spices, some of them are hard drugs, some of them are questionably poisonous.
Some pufferfish, a few weird-looking mushrooms.
You know, that pufferfish that's only a bit of it you can actually eat.
Fugu.
And there's a mysterious white powder that's right next to the sugar.
If the mysterious white powder is the white powder I think it is, I think the lawyer's probably going to take that one. Got something to keep you awake, alert, and reckless all night. Because I'm going to have a long night. Yeah, something goes missing. Oh, is there anything else you need?
No, that was it.
Alright. Good talking to you. Good hearing from you. Good speaking to you. Good not speaking to you. See you around.
Yes, I will just leave. I will just leave my defense to the expert.
Yes. He is clearly the best lawyer ever.
That depends upon your definition of best.
Most effective.
Yes.
I didn't say he was a good lawyer.
Yeah.
He's an at best neutral lawyer. Maybe somewhere south of neutral. Maybe quite a bit south of neutral. Anyway. So soon enough, the date of trial is set. Saul actually comes to speak with you as well, to get your word on what happened on the train.
Yeah.
He seems,
Interesting.
you don't want to say a monster?
But,
But the word heinous comes to mind.
Yeah,
I'm suddenly reminded of one of Agnes's first lines. Do you want to be described as heinous or
Heinous
monstrous?
and monstrous. Monstrous is easier to spell.
I imagine that Gaddy's pleased that he is not her legal defense.
But he is.
What?
Oh yeah, I'm defending the whole lot of you guys.
I thought that was Whisper Bolts.
Who's whispering?
That's disconcerting. That's
Yeah.
Gaddy's exact reaction.
Who?
Gaddy flags down one of the guards. Can we get Hans Whisper Bolts?
Hans Wispervold? He was released a couple of days ago. You suddenly recall that he saw that little Prince of Shadow's heart and smiled. He might not have been a guard.
Gaddy's just like, well, shit. I just sort of go like, well, okay, what have I heard about that dwarven prison and the best ways to get out of it? Mentally reviewing her escape plan.
I helped design it. I might be able to help in that.
Probably did. Don't worry, I constructed these cells. They're garbage. I was totally shithouse rat wasted when I built these. They fall off if you just twist them the wrong way.
Suddenly reminded of
No,
Pirates of the
I
Caribbean.
invented my own special escape hatch in case I ever needed to escape from them. You know,
You can sell it.
dwarven thinking.
The veterinary approach. Who builds a prison they can't escape from?
Good question.
But eventually, though, a trial date is set. You are once again collected together in a big old room with Saul. Says, all right. I managed to get a hold of the case notes from that incident in Glitterhagen with the demon summoning that destroyed the Carcass estate. All right. So, near as I can figure, this Perry fellow wandered off into the woods alone for a good chunk of time. Came back claiming he'd seen someone summon demons. No one else really seems to be able to vouch for that. So, we're pretty good on that count so far. I've got a couple of his professors who will testify he was completely incompetent, and they on several occasions insisted, in fact, he'd be expelled. only to have word come from on high that he was not to be kicked out of school. That sounds like Merrick interference to me. Now, we got the judge more or less on our side. He's going to help us with the juror selection quite a bit there. Turns out a couple of the legal team Merrick hired, they met with some difficulties in their lives. Apparently one of their horses spooked on the way here, ran off into the woods somewhere. Another one of them broke his leg walking down the stairs. Another one came down with some sort of flu thing. He's not going to be able to make it in.
Would it be something like something that might have happened because of one of his poisons?
Entirely possible. In fact, the symptoms he described sound an awful lot like someone ODing on something. Now, on the other hand, I've managed to get Aaron Edwards on our side, who will testify that the nobles were going about killing each other, and he's fully prepared to swear up and down that there was totally a succubus on board.
Do you have any word on whether they're going to summon the succubus as part
Oh,
of
yeah.
the trial?
Oh yeah, we got judges very, very firm on our allowing that particular course of action.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're all set and ready to summon her, get her bound and doing all that there, questioning witnesses
yes, she's gonna be
and
dead.
whatnot. How would she be dead?
Permanent dead. Never mind. I just
Demon,
feel
that would
like,
take an awful lot of work.
Yeah.
You'd have to go to hell and then kill her and then come back without dying.
Yeah.
It's real complicated.
Yeah.
Usually not worth doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you go to the abyss and kill them, you can kill them permanently.
Yeah.
Not that anyone's ever found.
See, at this point, that doesn't actually fill me with much confidence. Anyway, let's see how this goes.
Now, I got a hold of this Hans Whisperbolt character you mentioned.
Yeah.
He came to talk to me in my office. Said you'd found some evil tome. He brought that in for me.
Well, that was
So I got that set up.
thoughtful.
I managed to get that moved into evidence before people noticed it was missing, so to speak.
I like you, sir.
Yeah. So we've got the judge on our side. We've got two crack witnesses going. The judge has appointed a mage that I am quite on good terms with, perform the summoning and binding. So what would you like that succubus to say? Because it don't have to be the truth.
Well, the truth will actually work for us at this point.
Alright. The only thing we're going to have to throw in there is some point when he saw Aaron Edwards, that the Red Fisher, Baron, a murderous pirate guy. He's your star witness. Don't worry, I've got someone gussying him up all pretty.
Okay.
Oh yes. Make sure you mention that she threw me off the train at least once.
Alright, sure, I can certainly do that. Alright. Now, this Merrick guy,
Yes.
I think we can take him down.
Very pleased to hear that.
Some evidence has come up recently. A tome of demon summoning was perhaps might be found in his home at some point. Perhaps one that names the succubus in question. Perhaps maybe she'll say it wasn't Vlad that summoned her. Maybe it was Vlad and Merrick working together that did that. Maybe using Perry as some kind of cat's paw. Tickling your fancy with any of this?
I'd be very pleased to see the little asshole get his, but pretty sure that she's not gonna answer that when asked to answer things truthfully.
We got
I
a
don't
the guy
wanna-
doing the summoning. He can get her to say whatever you need.
Right, well, probably better we stop having this conversation.
Yeah, you guys are real gun shy about that. I don't know what to think. I got a counter spy. I got two actually. One's the counter spy for the counter spy in case someone buys it off. It's all attorney-client privilege, you understand. And if you ever repeat any of it, I will swear blind that I have never met you. I have 30 people who can back that up, including your own mother. not even sure if he's lying about it.
Mother's
Yeah,
been dead
yeah.
for 5 years.
That's not really much of a barrier.
Yeah, not in this universe. Don't screw us over. I've got 16 older brothers, all very, very good with weaponry.
Really? So, you think you've got a pretty solid legal defense going? If not an honest one. I wish to point out, all this shit was optional. You didn't have to go with any of this.
Yeah, Gaddy's dad probably wouldn't object to this at all. He'd be like, means to an end.
He probably suggested.
Yeah, quite possibly.
It's soon enough, you are actually brought into the courthouse itself to essentially present some opening arguments. I can read you out a list of basically what you're being accused of, and the evidence actually being arrayed against you. This would actually probably be Saul going over this with you. Let's see. First of all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
This is promising.
There are 26 nobles dead. Their names are read out. I could read them out to you if you'd like. I should point out actually that they're not all nobles. A lot of them are bodyguards. There are probably actually only about 10 nobles that are dead.
Sounds entertaining.
So most of the evidence being arrayed against you is Waywalk at Wandersprocket, one of the gnomish engineers, was going into a test that you guys got on the train apart from you guys.
Yes, yeah, from the beginning.
After it had already left station. He has changed the statement due to a sudden influx of money to state that you were in fact on board the train the entire time. You were merely staying in your room and taking room service. The claim that you were present for every attack, that has actually also been refuted by Aaron Edwards, who claims that he and a couple of his guards had to fight off some imps while he was toward the rear of the train, as well as having encountered the succubus momentarily while she was moving throughout the cabin. So he is blindly lying up and down.
Useful for
Izzy was seen to be mourning one of the dead dwarves from the freight car, but the dwarf then vanished during the attack in the panorama car. And given that that dwarf was the one who originally claimed it was demons in the first place, the accusation is that Izzy went over there to actually just shut him up about something. Demands that she was murdering him to cover something up. There's also questions about a couple of items that went missing from the freight shipment. There was one...
turned up in Izzy's possession.
Well, there's one item that turned out in Izzy's possession. There was also one empty crate from a Rankeraz's stuff, which contained a bomb.
Yeah.
And there was also one empty cargo container that was legitimate as far as you're aware. Although the contents of it were not listed. You were traveling with a dog, which then later disappeared, and the staffers say they heard a dog that was talking. That has actually been refuted by the priests because you told them that Brendan has a magic item that turns him into a dog. At which point the only question was, why were you wandering around the top of the train? Which is odd, but not entirely evil. You broke away from the group during the search of the train and claimed you killed the succubus during this time. They also accused you of being a fake priest. The other priests were able to easily confirm that you are in fact a priest of the ancient tech gods, swearing up and down that you're an honest dwarf who would never stoop to anything such as criminal legal tactics. You're going to have to roll me probably a charisma check to keep a straight face.
Okay. 20. Can I add anything to that?
Probably war veteran.
Yeah, war veteran. 25.
Oh yeah. You are just dead-eyed, 1,000-yard stare. No kind of change of expression at all.
I'm thinking inside, my god, what the hell have I done? Sorry, what the Megatron I've done. I'm a priest of the ancient tech gods, yes. You know.
So, Transformers,
Yes.
okay.
The claim that you broke away during the search of the train, Saul has attested, along with the witness testimony of Aaron Edwards and a couple of the other passengers who have mysteriously become more well-disposed towards you, who say that you actually witnessed the succubus trying to sneak out through one of the rooms and simply ran after him. They also claim that you accompanied you in this fight and helped fight the thing. And therefore, totally nonsensical that you could be evil people. There's an accusation that a wizard you were traveling with named Perry threw acid in a noble's face and got him killed as a result. The argument is made that it was intentional. As other evidence for this is the acid splashed on the wall near Vlad's room, which, of course, you know Merrick conjured. They also argue that the incident with the other guard in the carriage that you spilled the drink on, they argue that was also acid you threw on a guard's face. That one. Saul is actually just heaping the blame squarely on Perry, having mind-controlled you into doing that, or having shapeshifted to look like you and do that, but that it was totally acid he threw in that guy's face. And that was actually why you were forced to kill him on the train. His body, incidentally, was recovered. It had suffered some sort of mysterious wounds which are consistent with those inflicted by demonic pact magic, as well as falling off a train. So currently, things are looking very bad for Perry.
His memory shall forever be tarnished.
Alright. So, fortunately, through your hilarious levels of criminal equipment making, the only charge remaining against you that you cannot have some legitimate refutation for is that you stole something from one of the cargo containers. However, no one has come forward to claim whose cargo that was. So currently, they're mostly demanding to know what you took. They have also summoned Lasalka,
Yeah.
and she has given her testimony.
Yeah.
She is naked during the entire testimony.
Yeah. Surprising no one.
It seems to have surprised a number of spectators. They apparently weren't expecting that.
Did someone throw a robe at her?
No. If you do, she just goes, just throws it away. Scratches one of her boobs. She's not shy, dude. She doesn't
She's
care.
a succubus.
She kind of likes people looking at her. Alright.
Passive mood.
Fortunately, the remaining legal counsel for the accusation have actually dwindled quite a bit. There's just one guy, and he actually keeps nervously looking at Saul's assistant, that Asimar woman, with just dead fear in his eyes. So you guys have actually successfully gotten off the hook for being evil demon summoners through shady tactics.
Yeah.
However, you do now have the issue of how are you going to deal with Mary?
Yeah.
Because currently you do not present enough evidence to suggest that it was his fault. However, you know it was, that he was up to something. You don't currently know what, but you do have a couple of points left to keep in mind. Something was stolen from the train that went missing. Vlad didn't take it, wasn't in his room. Demon Lady, under binding question, says she didn't take it. No one else on the train claims to have taken it. Merrick might have taken it. Whatever it was. You also don't know why he was trying to get you arrested and put to death.
Yeah, that seems just a little excessive if it comes just from hatred of Perry.
Oh yeah.
Little
Perry's
I'm
name is
inclined to-
forever blackened and dragged through the mud as a heinous demon summoning monster. His family are ashamed but not surprised. After his body is reclaimed from the morgue, he is buried in a pine box by the state, so to speak.
Wouldn't they put
He is not given a tombstone.
Are you sure they wouldn't just cremate him to make sure he isn't risen back from the dead by demons?
Cremating costs money. They just douse him with a bunch of holy water. Bury him in a pine box. Sorry, Corey. Looks like Perry got chucked under a bus, but for the greater good of
He's
evil
saved,
legal defense.
He has saved the party. As his final act, he has saved the party.
His post-final act.
Yes.
He saved the party from beyond the veil.
Well done. Well done, Perry.
Probably the most helpful thing he's ever done.
So, with the last 10 minutes of the session, you guys have regained your freedom once more. Met it with Jiggy again. Jiggy, who is 2,000 gold richer. That's all yours, by the way. You don't have to share that with the party. Saul's legal fees are paid for by the Stark family. They seem large. There's a lot of bribes you gotta cover in there. But more or less, you guys come out of it smelling pretty okay. Most notably is Merrick was not at the trial, which seems odd.
Oh crap! I was gonna have Izzy try to follow him. As soon as he left.
Yep. You're not sure where he was, though, either. None of the other attorneys or legal counsel or spectators seem to know where he was either. Which is weird, because he had been planning to attend the trial.
I am going to ask Saul.
After he recovered from his weird bout of hallucinations.
I'm definitely going to ask Saul in private if he knows where Merrick went.
No, by the time we got to his house to put the boot into him, he wasn't there. This is all still confidential.
Oh, yeah.
So especially like
Now,
once they've
by
got
boot, you meant knife, right?
Well, duh. It's a boot knife.
once they've all got they got all their stuff in their
Don't
weapons
worry.
back.
The people I work with are discreet.
Once they got all their stuff in their weapons back, I imagine Gaddy's got her trail mix again, munching away, and she's kind of like, well, you know, a little bit.
Amazingly, Saul was actually able to relabel a couple of evidence boxes. An item that was supposed to be returned to you, which was just like a trunk full of clothes, was actually that horrifying demon maze.
You end
Nice.
up opening it up in front of the party.
Okay. Yeah, she's like, little bitch tried to kill me, and I'm inclined to take that personally. Dad says you shouldn't take that kind of thing personally, but, you know, still a little bit of a sore subject.
He is a threat.
So, what the hell is
So,
that?
do you tell them about your meeting with, say, Helena Ironhaunt?
Oh yeah. By the way, some lady like horribly like disfigured. I don't know what the story behind that was. Her name was Helena Ironbird or something, and she came to visit. She talked to us and summoned the. Okay, you're making the same face they made. Okay, that's really disconcerting. Would someone tell me what's going on?
We sort of made a promise that we would keep her secret for her, so I don't know how much I feel comfortable telling you, because
Oh,
suffice
goody.
it to say, fear her.
Goody.
Fear her family, particularly her husband.
Well, we're gonna swing by a post office, and I'm gonna write a letter to my dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Suffice it to say, now you mentioned this axe, right?
Yeah, there was an axe. An axe. She kind of struggles to come up with the name, and it mentions the axe of like funky blood or something.
Oh,
7 blood.
do I need to roll an intelligence?
Oh, no. That is the most well-known and famous artifact in the Dwarven Longbolt, is the Axe of 7 Bloods. It is called that because during its use, it has tasted the blood of 7 immortal creatures.
Ooh, delightful. Actually, that's probably something Gaddy would have not messed up the name of, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. Let's just say
Its existence is kind of an open secret. Pretty much everyone knows it exists and it's in the Longbolt. No Dwarven king has ever admitted to it being there. What it does is it can kill anything you hit with it. Utterly and completely. The downside is it also kills you when you hit something with it.
That's highly distressing.
Yeah. However, I will mention to her that I know exactly why she wants it, and if she has it, I don't think she'll be a threat.
Well, that's marginally more encouraging. But why do I kind of feel like I was dancing really close to a fire there and didn't know?
What does she do?
Oh, yeah, you don't know either. Yeah, that's these guys don't seem to want to tell us. I was just gonna write a letter to Dad and see if he knew anything.
Right now, that is all I feel comfortable in saying right
Yeah,
now.
fair
Suffice
enough.
it to say, our sorcerer friend had the really bad idea of, when we found out the secret of her, wanted to make a deal with her.
He seemed to like making deals.
No,
Oh wait,
no.
no, not Perry. It was.
It was the sorcerer, Brendan.
Oh.
Yeah,
I thought he was smarter.
It turns out he's not much smarter than Perry.
Oh. She's
He's
sit down with, like, a
marginally
quill.
smarter than Perry.
That's
He's less danger prone.
Yeah.
yeah. So that's great. Okay, so you guys were after this rank rose guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. When she was helping us, she suggested, and I did not necessarily agree, but I didn't also disagree, that we not mess with his plans to take over the throne. Now, I know that's a thing you guys were doing before. Yeah, so he's a dragon, right? Dragon? Big, evil, mean dragon? Mm-hmm. Okay, and so he's trying to take over the throne for God knows what purpose. Gods know what purpose. She wants him on the throne. Now, should that concern us?
Wait, there's a dwarf possessed by a green dragon trying to take over the throne.
Yes. You know Connor Blackhand?
No?
Okay, well, he became really good friends of us until he was kidnapped by a dragon, and apparently the dragon put his soul in his body.
Now, was this Perry's fault also?
No, I don't believe Perry was anywhere near when this happened, though it would not surprise me.
Huh. So, are you going to share your weird tongue thing with the class?
Oh, yeah, it's a. You had to ask me something I didn't have sitting in front of me. It's the Loskin, Lash of the Maw of Madness. It's basically Demon Toad. It's useful. You know, not as cool as a hammer, but, you know, useful.
I'm going to stay as far away as possible from that thing.
Probably a good idea. I wouldn't recommend anyone without a few years training, you know, go too close to it.
By which I mean I'm going to stay as far away from you as possible during combat.
Is there any unintended side
conveniently,
effects?
Can't hit people by accident.
This is a demonic weapon.
Yeah.
There's most likely side effects to using it.
Well,
There's,
it can get
it
kind of
must be.
smelly if you're not taking care of it.
Wait, so this Ironhaunt fellow knew quite a lot of stuff, right?
Yes, I would say she is very knowledgeable. Whether she is honest is up in the air, but she knows her stuff.
Maybe we should ask her about that thing.
Yes, I suppose that could be handy, but again, even though she is indeed very knowledgeable, I would not trust a word she says, not implicit.
Well, it's just that a while back, Izzy and I were carrying this, and we came to an agreement. If it was valuable, Izzy can have it, but if it will help me kill demons, then it will be mine.
Alright.
And this was before I knew it was a weird tongue thing, so who knows? But if it can help me kill demons, like
I don't
kill
trust you about as far as I can throw you. Although, admittedly, I can throw you pretty far. You're a gnome. I'm quite strong. But you've got a bear trap on a stick.
Yeah.
That is a suspiciously odd weapon.
And the succubus came back, so it's not working.
I suspect there's probably user error. But
So-
I also have a lovely hammer, so
I'm gonna have to cut the session here.
yeah, I imagine you have
So
to go.
you guys can give me icon rolls though.
Oh yes,
Okay, that's a lot of sixes.
I personally don't care about the hammer, just for the record.
Straight threes.
And are you going to make her dad the?
I might. If it becomes relevant, I probably will.
Okay, because in that case, I would make her new icon relationship with the. Okay.
I got a 6 with the Dwarf King, or no, a 5 with the Dwarf King, a 6 with the High Druid, and a 6 with the Priestess.
Okay, green is Emperor, red is Diabloist, white is what's his stuff. And the only made-up word I used all night wasn't even in game.
So that's a 6 with the Diabolist.
Yeah, 6 of the Diabloist and nothing.
Is your relationship with the Crusader positive, negative, or conflicted?
Well, since I don't actually know whether it depends on whether it ends up being her dad or not.
It probably will.
Then presumably positive.
I forgot to include.
Your dad's going to
icon
become the
relationship.
Crusader.
Yep.
But it doesn't really matter. I hold a 1.
I
but
should probably
future
go read up
reference
on
is
the
Crusader
Crusader.
positive.
Basically, it's a little on
You're
there.
adding the Crusader? You're adding Gaddy's dad to your relations?
Probably not specifically his dad, but essentially he was not exactly quiet or how intense he wants to just slay demons. Like actually.
Crusader doesn't slay demons so much as enslave them.
Oh, so that's how. See, I have to go read up on the Crusader because I only read the ones that were more or less in detail. Only read the ones that were relevant.
He's a paladin of the dark gods. He goes around the world killing demons, destroying hellholes, but he has this thing where he likes to take over hellholes and turn them into fortresses.
Hey,
And
that's-
enslave demons to his whims.
That seems. Yeah, that seems up to her. That seems appropriate.
And the general belief is that the only reason he doesn't start attacking the Empire is because he's busy fighting demons. It's more fun to fight demons. Everyone's pretty convinced that if he ever ran out of demons to fight, he'd just start attacking everyone else.
Can I see teeny tiny D6? I didn't realize.
Right next to the microphone.
So sorry, little microphone. Oh, these are so cute. Oh my god. Where did you find such things?
In internet loot crate thing.
Oh, you're doing the
So-
the geeky loot trade.
Yeah,
things?
but I've canceled that since. But in one of them, there was a Star Wars collecting card thing with some cardboard little things that you can build, make little tiny spaceships. And this was in with it.
Oh.
This is the only thing I kept.
That's adorable. Sorry, just tiny D6.
Now then, out of character, do I need to explain what's going on to the two of you? I'm sure Corey knows, but what about you, Amber?
No. So I listened to all the recordings. I feel like
Alright.
I should have already known who
You
this
listen to
woman
all the
was.
recordings and you don't know who Helena Ironhaunt
No,
is?
but no, that's what I'm saying. So it must have come up in the recordings, and I have just spaced entirely. Although there was like 5 recordings that I had to skip because I needed to skip forward so I could listen to the ones that were like right before I started.
Whole family of people with horrible scars, burns, missing limbs.
Oh, right from way with the oh. Right. Okay. Gaddy still doesn't know.
No, she doesn't.
Gaddy still doesn't know it. She's quite happy not knowing. Probably a good thing that stays that way. And I'm gonna go re-listen to those recordings just to freshen my own knowledge. Okay.